it's Hillary, Lazy Lime Alive DIY. Thank you for coming to my channel. I just have an explanation about this video before we get into it. It's a Swiss roll. I wanted to do one for Christmas, but it didn't pan out. And this recipe that I'm using, I didn't like. And I had taken a class at Cook's Warehouse to just make sure I had the hands-on bit of it. And it was really, really easy. And we made a pumpkin Swiss roll with a cream cheese filling, which, oh my gosh, it was delicious. This one I made, it turned out, it looked okay. You'll see, I put this whipped cream on the top and that was a bad move. But anyway, it looked okay, but it really didn't taste good. And the original recipe just had castor sugar, flour, and eggs. And it had no flavoring. And I put in a teaspoon of vanilla just to help it along, and it just really tasted eggy, and it was very tough. And I'm going to look at the recipe again, but I don't think it said anything about what size pan to put it in. And maybe it's a standard that people who make Swiss rolls all the time, they know what the size is, but I didn't. And the one we used in class was gigantic. It was like, I don't know, like 12 by 18 maybe, and that was not enough batter. So the technique that is here is all good. The recipe that is here is kind of all bad. Sorry. So at another point in time, I'm going to revisit the Swiss roll, and I'm going to do my recipe of what I had planned to do, which was a passion fruit curd in the center and then a whipped cream filling. Doesn't that sound delicious? I know, right? Anyway, here is the basics. Just ignore the recipe and we'll just speed that up. And I'll see you on the other side. Actually calls for 3 eggs, 125 grams of castor sugar, and 125 grams of self-rising flour if you want to try it. Here I've got all the ingredients into the bowl, and I'm just folding in the flour because I guess I'm trying to keep it airy. I don't know. There wasn't enough instruction in the recipe. So it really didn't look flavorful, so I added a teaspoon of vanilla to kind of help it along, and folded that in. As you can see, it's all blended nicely. There's no lumps. So here's my first mistake. I used the jelly roll pan that I bought from class, because in class it looked like a really small amount of batter, but for a large pan, so I didn't really think too much of it. But no, this did not work at all. I kept this part in here. Normally I think I would have just cut this out, but I think it's important to see that you can, you know, all's not lost. So I realize here it's not going to fit, so I just take my parchment and put it in a smaller pan. See how that works? One key is the pan is greased, then parchment, then the parchment is greased. Batter 350 for 5 minutes on this one. It took 5, and even then it has a little burnt edges. But prepping the towel with a little powdered sugar, and then I can just drop the pan with the still warm cake, pot holders, still warm, still hot, onto the towel and remove the parchment. You can see that it's burnt along the edges, and it was only in there 5 minutes. Seriously. And I start the roll. In class, she just rolled towel and the cake all together, but I didn't catch that until I looked at the video I took
afterward, of course. But this worked just fine too. And you just keep rolling the cake. Do, 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 do. And then just roll it in the towel. And set it to the side to cool. Now, in the meantime, I have whipped up some heavy cream and added a little bit of vanilla and sugar to that. And I've heated up some blackberry jam in the microwave till it's nice and liquidy. So my cakes had a chance to cool. There's the whipped cream. Actually, it looks like butter. Anyway, here's my my roll. It's a little cool now. And when I unroll it, you'll see it still wants to stay curled. That is optimal. And I'm taking my warm jam, it's blackberry, if I hadn't said so already, and just laying that all over the cake. Making sure I get all the corners because I want it to seep into the cake. Now I'm just putting on my whipped cream and using my offset spatula to spread that all the way to the edge, or sort of the edge. And then see how easy it is to roll up? Boom! It just goes right the way it wants to be. Here I'm going to cut off the edges. Whoops, rolly. Here I'm going to cut off the edges so it looks pretty. And I take my whipped cream that I have left over and I put it into a Ziploc bag and taste it, and it's delicious. And cut the edge off here. This was mistake number 2. I should not have done this. This was horrible looking. Now you can see I'm like sawing the cake. This is where I first realized that things have not turned out well because it shouldn't like take a saw to cut cake. That's not right. If you ever have to like really go at cake like that, you have done something wrong, my friend. But look at it. It looks pretty. And see that whipped cream on the top? That is just horrible. I am so embarrassed about that right now. But that is how it turned out. And when you put the roll on the plate, look at that. It looks perfect.
So we're about to taste our little Swiss roll. I can already tell it's overdone. And I don't think I like this recipe. It's really kind of tough. And it only cooked for 5 minutes. So I'm not keen on the flavor either. It also like smells weird. You know when you bake cake and it has that like really strong vanilla, oh goodness is baking and this house is full of love? No. So all in all, Swiss roll. The key is, I believe, rolling up the cake while it's still warm and letting it cool in that rolled up shape. And then when you get ready to put your layers on, you can just unroll it and spread the layers on and it'll just roll right back up. Thank you so much for watching Lazy Lima Life DIY, and I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you make a Swiss roll. What are you going to put in your Swiss roll? Are you going to put blackberry jam like I did? Or are you going to use a different kind of jam? Are you going to use a curd? I think lemon curd would be really amazing. Or lime. Ooh. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and click the subscribe button down below. Boom, boom. And we will be having some more fun in the new year. I've got some new ideas, so those are definitely coming down the pike. Until then, hope you're having a great holiday season, and thank you again. Bye.